Hello and welcome. Today we're looking at Fatima, the chess.com bot rated 2000, and I played this game last night of the evening, and I finally won after 66 moves and ended in this position. I played the black pieces, and I'll go through what was going on in my head and how I ended up here. I will tell you, this game, I would love to play it live, but this game took me just about 2 hours to go through. Computer said I played an 86% and Vima at a 79%. And so I want to go through this, and some of the computer analysis, I looked at it. I don't quite understand some of the, where the computer said I made some bad moves. The computer knows better than I do, but some of it I'm not sure about. So I really expected a take here, but it doesn't happen. And okay, so that's fine. This is one where the computer says I should have concentrated more on building up a strong center and have these two pawns connect. And I'll have to keep that in mind. Computer says I made an inaccuracy with that. And then I really expected it. I expected this, but Fatima came out here with the knight. Computer says a blunder. I will take all the help I can get, and so here my thinking was I just wanted to get this knight out of the way. You know, it gives me an idea to do check, stuff like that. So that was my thinking here. Okay. So again, you know, computer says it wasn't quite right. And normally I don't like to do this kind of movement. If you see, that was just a trade. And it's kind of like, you know, hey, what are you doing? So the biggest, and I'll tell you why I did that. And this is the biggest takeaway that I want to make for this video, is that especially these tougher ELOs, the 2000 for me is very difficult. Like I said, it took me about an hour 45 last night to play this game, and I had to walk away from it a couple times, and anyway, come back to it, and the wife and I were watching a television program, and then I came back to it, and so on. But in the mid game, I try to get up just a little bit of something, you know, whether it's a pawn, a piece would be great, and then I just keep trading down. Right now, I feel like I'm in the strong because, you know, I am up a pawn, and my opponent has lost the right to castle. So the trade-off is, it's like a thing of yin and yang. You can't take something without giving something in return. So all the taking I did, and this is what the computer was kind of warning me about, is my development stinks. Here's my minor pieces. I got 3 minor and 3 major. My 3 minors are, you know, they're just sitting there. So I got to get something going. And so there was my big idea for the check. And here, I was just wanting to do a trade. Again, just like I said before, I'll force the trade then if Fatima doesn't take it. Since I'm at this point, you know, I'm up 2 pawn. But I want to stop. My development is terrible. That's the trade-off. So, but they've she's lost her right to castle. So she has 3 minor pieces. I have 3 minor pieces. Okay, and then I've got 2 major, and she has 2 major. Okay, and then on this side I got 1, 2, 3 pawns. She has 1, 2, 3, and on this side I have 4 pawns, and she only has 2. This is the advantage I'm looking for. It's not great, but this little bit of advantage is what helps, and it makes all the difference in the world. So now I'm just looking to get to the end game, really, and I'll trade down every opportunity I get. So, okay, and so while I'm up 2 pawn, not only that, but I'll make it difficult for my opponent. Got an isolated pawn that's double stacked. So it's looking better and better. But don't worry, folks. One thing I am very good at is screwing up games that I should easily win. So, okay, now let's talk about that real quick. What my opponent did here. This movement to here, if you're going to move a piece, and then I moved, and then you just go right back, that actually helped me. That's not just willy-nilly, didn't matter. It did matter. These little differences is what makes the difference in a game, especially at a higher ELO. Some of you, maybe that isn't a higher ELO, but for me, 2000 is. But so most games when they're evenly matched only last about 42 moves. And if you go back to the same position where you started and your opponent advanced just a little bit, then it's almost like you sacrificed a turn. And these little differences is what I look for. And it's kind of my key to everything here. And there I just totally blundered, as you can see, or made a mistake, I guess. Technically, I made a mistake. Yep, totally blew it, like I said. And I think the reason why the computer says this is a mistake is I need to get this knight in the game, and this square is protected by this knight. So if this came down, I'm covered. So I believe that the computer is saying, hey, get that knight developed, get out there. Get these rooks connected. You always want to get these rooks connected. Okay, so again, the computer is showing that I attacked this bishop with the wrong piece, that I should have used this rook down here. Okay, yeah, I'm no grandmaster, that's for sure. Okay, so I keep things going, trying to keep that trade, and now I've kind of screwed up, because now the only advantage that I have is that my opponent has double stacked isolated pawns. Otherwise, we're dead even. So I went from having a great advantage to just a slight advantage. So let's see if we can get that turned back around. Okay, I wanted to line up my rooks, and I think the computer says this is an inaccuracy because in the end game you've got to get your key, your king in the game. That's the key. Is a lot of times people and myself have a tendency to hide the king down here. You know, you won't win that way, especially if you're evenly matched. You got to get your king out there and get things going. So here, computer's saying this is a blunder, dude. You really need to get this king out there. Yeah, okay, yep. I keep blundering that. I do. Maybe I'm too strong on my theory about trading down, but that's what works for me, and I just want people to know that in this video. That's the biggest thing is that's what's going on in my head. The computer says I made a blunder here, that I really need to get this king out, and that's true. So you can learn from my mistakes. I learned from my mistakes. Okay, so let's keep this going. Again, I'm just trying to trade down. Computer missed an opportunity there, but okay. Says that c4 would have been the best move to kick this knight out of here. So okay, but I will take all the help I can get, and here I'm just trying to put some pressure on this bishop. In an end game like this, where there's not a whole lot of pawn, the bishop is going to be the better end game piece. And so my opponent has a bishop, I have a knight. So I definitely want to trade that down. I definitely want to trade these two pieces. A knight is better if there's a bunch of pawn and pieces all over, then a knight can hop around a little bit. But okay, so let's keep this going here. Okay, there's my opportunity to trade, and I will take it. All right. And now I'm going to get back in here, and let's see if I can clean up this pawn. Now here, I would love to promote this pawn. Look, it's not going to happen. This this rook will not allow that. Fatima at 2000 is not just going to sit back and let me promote this pawn. Normally, what you want to do is get your rook underneath your pawn and then promote your pawn up. But if I do that, this pawn will queen. My king is sitting down right here. It's going to be a mess for me. So I'm up 2 pawn right here. If I could trade out these 2 pawn, that's what I'm looking to do. That's what I'm looking to do. And there it is. Okay. So now I'm in check, and it's a little scary, but there it is. Okay. And I want to protect that piece and call check at the same time. Okay. All right. So let's keep this game going. Okay. So I'm just looking to simplify the game here and use that advantage that I have with my pawns. Okay. Now I'm up 2 pawns to 1. And yeah, I didn't think Fatima was just going to let me take it. So I do want to protect this pawn because I've been in this situation many times and I've messed it up. And so I'm just playing conservative and protecting this pawn. All right. And now Fatima says, well, I want to attack. Well, this is what I was talking about. You can't take something without giving something first. So she's taking an opportunity to attack. Okay. Well, but at the same time, she's given the pawn. So, like I said, always think of your chess games like yin and yang. That's what I always do. Okay. Let's keep this going because there are quite a few moves here. I don't want to spend forever rambling. I'm just trying to protect my king, get in a situation where I can't be called to check. Okay, I'm protecting that pawn. Okay, now I've got this king owning all these squares. Now I'm pretty sure I can promote, but I won't be able to keep it, as you'll see. Okay, so now the king is cut off because of this rook. So now I'm free, mostly free, there's the attack, to promote this pawn. So I do have to be careful. Okay, so let's get that promoted. And the reason why I come here is because I'm trying to create a box for my opponent's king, and I want to make that box smaller and smaller. So right now, that king is only free to move in these areas here. Oops. So that's what I'm trying to do, is corner this king into such a small area, and so that's what we're going to do here. Okay, we're just going to keep making that box smaller and smaller until now it's finally mate. Okay, so I hope that helps you with Fatima 2000. You can go to chess.com and check out the bot, and my bird agrees, as you've probably heard in the background. And so I always play my games as they are. If I had to play this game in a 20-minute timer, there's no way I could win. But give yourself plenty of time. This game took me about 1 hour and 45 minutes. And, you know, the biggest takeaway is once you get ahead just a little bit, just keep whittling it down to the end game, make your end game a lot easier. So I hope that helps. Thanks a lot. If this helps you, please like and subscribe. That will encourage me to make more videos. And check out some of my other ones. Thank you so much. Have a great day.